all boys doing. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever. There might be some girls watching me. Not that very often, but yeah, it happens. I'm gonna wait for a couple of y'all to come in. So today, what's on plan is Kush released another video where he reacts to Fuzi in the club, where people started leaving the club and all that, which I'm gonna be fully honest, I like Fuzi. Okay, guys, so I don't really like when people talk shit about Fuzi. Now, Fuzi obviously has his own personality, and you know, I like him because of that, to be honest. So yeah, he apparently was dancing in the club or had a mic behind the DJ pult or whatever, and people started leaving the club, which is funny. But yeah, man, his IRL streams, bro, he's are crazy, bro. Where does Fuzi stream, by the way, guys? Do you know? Because I'm not sure if he streams on Kick or on Twitch. Or I don't think he streams on Twitch, but where does he stream? Kick or Party? On Party, I know Jack Doherty tried to convince him to go on Party, but I don't think he... Anyways. Let's watch this, because after this one, I've got another video that I want to watch for you guys. So let's first of all watch Fuzi and watch this video from Kush explaining it. Now, Kush is obviously a beta male, so, and he hates Fuzi because he's rich and successful and jacked. So he's obviously going to try to hate on him, but all that aside, let's see if he gets anything right.
Play the intro. They're gonna get turned out.
Little did these poor people knew their night was going to be ruined. The night that the one day some of these people had off from work, they decided to go out, have some fun.
Well, listen, if you're working 9 to 5, you have no business to do in the club. If you're a brokey, bro, you should be working all weekend on your fucking business. And even after work during the weekdays, 7 days a week. You have no business to do in the club, so I don't feel bad for them.
And little did they know this donkey is gonna come on stage and absolutely shut hawk their night. Now, if you didn't know, Fuzi is doing side missions in Dubai. He's going to every club. He is destroying everyone's night and destroying the club's businesses. Goes inside the club, no one knows what's going on. Who is this guy? You're having a good time? You're having a good time? I am here to ruin it for you. Yesterday, even
man, he has just his personality, man. Come on.
The club, I don't exactly know which club it is here in Dubai. I don't, last time I went to a club I was forced to 2 years ago. I don't like clubs, and people were just shocked to see what his work is. They don't fucking know him. Trust me, they do not know who this donkey is. They're just waiting to see how his work is so they can have a good time. But little did these donkeys at the club know, the second he opens his mouth and says, "Neon, I want a shakalaka boom Sam Frank, I got dick overseas making content."
Okay, now this is fucking horrible, the fact that Fuzi said that, man. Come on.
That is the time where their night was going to be ruined. Now, Fuzi posted this on his page saying, "I performed IGD live at the Dubai club and the crowd's reaction was priceless." I don't want to spoil it for you with the crowd's reaction, but for 2 reasons, I'm not going to be playing the song. The song is "I Wanna Shakalaka Boom Boom Sam Frank, I Got Dick." Thank you, Fuzi. We did not know you have dick. We thought you had a vagina. So for 2 reasons, I'll be muting the clip. First is they're probably gonna copyright me, or who knows, even copyright strike me. Second of all, it is way more peaceful and funnier to watch.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna try to find this clip because Fuzi is on Twitter, and I got Twitter, bro. After all the bans, I still got a Twitter account, and I got 2 actually because I got unbanned in my first one. But I was like an overseas making content. This was another one, but I'm trying to find a specific video that I was talking about. But bro, if you look at fucking Fuzi's Twitter, dude, this guy, what the fuck is he doing? This guy's going crazy. So he's like now performing his favorite songs now. Interesting. I mean, he's doing a good job, man. He's better than most of these rappers, to be honest. I mean, good shit, man. Like you can't hate on Fuzi. Fuzi's now a rapper performing concerts, bro. You can't hate the guy. Come on now. The fuck? I'm just scrolling through Fuzi's fucking Twitter, right? But I'm trying to find the exact. Oh, this is the one. The one shot.
Play the intro, fuck. They're gonna get turned though. Hello, we don't know this.
Let's see what this one's about. Ah, then if that's the original song, then that's good. Fuzi, bro, but these people, I think it will hit good, but these people just don't know him, that's why. Yeah, like the crowd didn't really feel it too much, yeah. Because they didn't know him, right? They didn't know the guy now. Hold on a second. Trying to find this. From some right about Podiac DDG. Bye, nobody can tell me on. Okay, but let's check out the comments now. What the comments did say? No one listens to your music. Oh, Jesus. They're hating, bro. They're hating so good. Miss Doji pranks. Bro, that's childish as fuck. Come on now. Dude. Got so pissed. Go back to streaming. I mean, this wasn't his greatest performance. I'm gonna say that, man. Holy shit. Anyways, let's keep watching the Kush's video.
The whole thing. Just pay attention to the crowd.
They're gonna get turned though.
Yeah, the people were dead, dude. The people, they didn't fuck with that because they probably didn't even know him, so that's probably why. Holy shit. Yeah, like it wasn't good, man. This wasn't a W for me.
When I first saw this, the janitor over there give him a headset, give him a Lil something. Oh, these rappers, these donkeys, they come to Dubai, they perform in clubs. People are still vibing with it because anything at this point is better than Fuzi's.
I mean, okay, dude, just Neon performing a song at a crowd that didn't know him, so that's why I didn't vibe with it. There's not much to say about this, honestly. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate that this happened, but it's like, bro, who gives a shit? Right, his other clips, bro, that crowd was lit up. So, bro, who cares? Who really cares? Come on, guys. Is there anybody who really cares about this shit? Probably Kush's fans. I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to react to this real video from Jeff Nippard, or Nippard. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. Anyways, Jeff Nippard, he made a video. Science-based lifting sucks, and I agree with this because I made a video similar to this one on my second channel, Why Bro Science is Meta, and I highly advise you guys to watch that one. But let's watch Jeff Nippard's opinion on this because, bro, this guy knows his shit, right? So let's just watch this.
Science-based lifting is when you base your workouts around what the science says is best for muscle growth. It's a relatively new style of training, the opposite of the more old-school shut up and lift approach. Science-based lifters do optimized exercises, track their weights, and instead of always pushing their muscles as hard as possible, they push themselves in a more controlled way, hard enough to maximize the muscle stimulus, but not so hard that you create too much fatigue. This is basically how I've trained for the last 10 years, but this style of training is clearly under attack.
The big channels now are all about the science-based.
I'm really tired of the whole science-based training movement.
I don't think science-based lifting is good, and I don't think it's a good idea.
I'll be honest, I find these criticisms a little frustrating, but not for the reasons that you might think. You see, when you search science-based workout on YouTube, I'm the first result. If you search optimal training on TikTok, it's me again. So you might think these critiques frustrate me because an attack on science-based lifting is basically an attack on me, but that's not why. The real reason that I find these critiques frustrating is that they're not entirely wrong. I actually agree with some of the critiques about science-based lifting. So in this video, I want to set the record straight. I'm going to show you all the things everyone thinks are science-based that I actually disagree with. And then I'm going to show you the few things that are truly science-based.
Like, you can take it to a certain extent. You don't just go bro science 100%, and you don't go science-based 100%. That's what I explained in my video. It's that, okay, you can take tips, etc., but it's like, if you start worrying about angles in a 45-degree angle and not 49 degrees and that you're doing it wrong about because of that, bro, come on. My bro science is basically, if the muscle hurts and if it grows and if you're sore the next day, that's pretty good. That's a good workout that you hit. That's my opinion.
Agree with. And by the end of the video, you'll know exactly which aspects of science-based lifting you need to pay attention to and which aspects you can ignore. All right, let's start with the most popular science-based lifting advice, that slow negatives are better for muscle growth. Anytime I hear anyone talk about science-based lifting, the first thing I hear is that you need to slow down the negative, that part of the lift where you're lowering the weight back down. But do slow negatives actually build more muscle? Well, let's see. This study had people train their biceps with preacher curls for 7 weeks. One group did a normal 1-second negative, the other group did a slow 4-second negative. After 7 weeks, both groups grew the same amount of muscle.
Dude, hold on a second. I think that, okay, this group actually built more muscle. Bro, this is like the most scientific like studies that they can be.
This study had people do squats with either a 2-second negative or a slow 4-second negative. Both groups grew the same amount of muscle.
It's not the same. Like, this group built even more.
And this study had people do leg extensions one leg at a time. One leg used a normal 1-second negative, the other leg used a slow 3-second negative. Both legs grew the same. That's
No, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? So this wasn't the same, dude. Look at this shit. This is higher than this. So this group built more muscle, as a matter of fact.
grew the same. That's 3 studies showing that a normal 1 to 2-second negative works just as well as a slower 3 to 4-second negative. Now, some of you may object that Mike Israetel preaches slow negatives, and he's an expert.
Control slow, 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 slow.
And yes, Mike is an expert, and I value his opinion. So I wanted to give him a call and ask him why.
So Mike, based on the workouts we've had together, I've gathered that you like to use slower negatives. Could you explain your rationale behind that?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are a few layers of rationale. It's a little bit nuanced. And so sometimes I think I get understandably kind of interpreted by other people as like just carte blanche advocating slow negatives. A lot of people will assume that I think there's a direct hypertrophy benefit to them, and I don't think that. But there are some good reasons to use a slower negative. I can tell you, like, okay, slowing down your negative doesn't directly cause any more muscle growth, but it's substantially safer. All of a sudden it's like, okay, so there's no downside really, but there's an upside of safety. Like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds like an interesting thing to really think about. The other thing is a lot of people have trouble with a mind-muscle connection. They can't feel their pecs working, their biceps working, whatever their muscles, their work they're doing.
Honestly, mind-muscle connection, to have that is a very powerful thing. So if you can just focus on that mind-muscle connection, on the muscle working, bro, that's so good. So it's like, that's the thing that a lot of people are struggling with, and I was struggling with too, and I still struggle to this day with some certain exercises. So it's like, that's the thing that's worth improving.
It's a situation, and the mind-muscle connection does not produce these crazy differences in hypertrophy, but in some individuals it can produce substantial differences, small but notable ones, and that can help.
Just out of curiosity, like in your own training, how long would you say each negative takes you on average?
2 seconds, maybe?
Really?
1
okay.
to 2 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not that slow though.
Well, yeah, it's not. It's just enough to control the load and enough for me to feel pretty safe.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're actually, there's not as much space between us as I thought on that. I think in our workouts, you've probably instructed me to slow down because I am new to a lot of the techniques that you guys use.
So I think those are great reasons to use slower negatives. And Mike and I are actually more alike on this than I realized. Even though slowing down a negative can help you lock in your technique better, for sure, I think we'd both agree that controlling the negative is the most important thing. It doesn't necessarily need to be super slow. This year, I was an author on a scientific review of...
Yeah, like just control the weight, don't slam it. I think that's the main point of this.
Optimal lifting technique. And we found that as long as each rep lasts 2 to 8 seconds in total, you're good. So here's what you need to know. If your negatives last less than 1 second, they're too fast. You should slow them down and control the weight better. If your negatives last 1 to 7 seconds or so, you're in the sweet spot. In this zone, I think it's up to your personal preference how slow you go. But if your negatives last 8 seconds or longer, they're probably too slow, and you'd be better off speeding them up a bit. So I'm not quitting on slow negatives altogether, but I am quitting the idea that you need to go really slow to maximize hypertrophy. Another very popular science-based trend involves technique tips and tweaks. The idea here is that you modify exercises in a specific science-based way, and you'll build more muscle. I use some...
Hold on a second, just because the slower negatives basically just go slower than a second, okay? And that's it, like a second and a half to, not just about it.
Of these little tips and tweaks myself, like setting the seat back on leg extensions, staying in a stretched half on calf.
Yeah, and this is not too sciencey, okay? I think this is good bro science. This is just like tips. I think this is just good tips. This is not science-based lifting, okay? I don't think this is too much, in my opinion, guys. What do y'all think? I think that is just perfectly like normal, you know? I don't know what to think about it, man. I do my slow negatives about 3 seconds. Yeah, 3 seconds is good. Honestly, it's fine. But what are you drinking? It's water from Romania. I still have this water bottle, Aqua, bro. I still have this water bottle, so I just wanted to finish it. Like, why not? You drinking out of plastic bottles, guys? Come on, stop flaming me first. I'm just finishing this one bottle because it's from Romania and I just want to finish it, man. That's it. Otherwise, I got my... Don't worry. I got my stainless steel Super Sparrow over here. As soon as I finish this one. I don't know. Estrogen maxing. Fuck off. Fuck off, you guys. Come on.
Raises and raising the cable height on lateral raises. But it goes well beyond that. You cannot open social media without being flooded with a new spin on a common exercise. So the question is, are these tips and tweaks actually science-based? And how much of a difference do they actually make? Well, I think it depends on the specific tip in question. Some of these tips do work and are based on some direct, peer-reviewed evidence. Some of them might work, but are based on more indirect evidence. And some probably don't work at all, or at least aren't based on any science. So to make this as clear as possible, I made this table. I took every cue I could find on social media and put them into one of 3 categories. Cues that work and are based on science, cues that might work and are based on indirect science, and cues that probably don't work, or at least don't have any science behind them. I included the scientific reference for cues that have one, and I'll highlight all the cues that I actually do myself in blue, so you can pause and screenshot if you want to read. But the reality is, all of these tips and tweaks, every one of them, even the science-based ones, will have a relatively minor impact on your gains. And none of these tips and tweaks are as important as simply pushing yourself hard and doing it.
I absolutely agree with this one, guys. I agree with this 100%.
Enough volume. But that's just the tip of that.
So many dudes focus on tweaks and perfect form and all of that, but they train like pussies and they leave the rep with 5 reps in reserve, bro. That's stupid. Should fucking smack the shit out of that guy, honestly. Like, volume, okay, but intensity of the workout is more important than I want to say the form. But if you're doing the form in a way that you don't injure yourself and you can feel the muscle, it's more important to train with high intensity than to have the perfect form. That's just what I'm gonna say, guys. Like, dude, if you don't train hard, then what the fuck are you doing? Ever tried training with a girl? It's a nightmare. Yeah, tell me, bro. I know that shit. Bro, girls train like pussies because they are pussies, technically, yeah, but training with a girl is the worst. I agree with you on that one.
Because it's not just tips and tweaks that people associate with science-based lifting. Science-based lifting has become synonymous with perfect technique in general. Let me prove that to you. Which of these two techniques looks more science-based to you? I'm doing perfect, strict technique on the left, and Sam is doing loose, cheating technique on the right. Most people would say that my technique is more science-based. But why? As of now, there's never been a study.
But the thing is, if both of these guys feel the muscle, the fucking biceps working, they can feel the muscle, and that's the point. It's not about having the perfect technique. It's about who leaves this with a stronger hypertrophy of the muscle and who stimulated the muscle enough. And Sam is bigger than Jeff because Jeff is natural and Sam is on roids. But bro, holy shit. Both of these are good, but honestly, I'd train like Sam rather. That's more intense in my opinion.
Comparing strict technique to loose technique. Future science could show that loose cheat reps actually cause more growth than perfect strict reps. We don't know. And until that study comes out, it'd be misleading to say that perfect strict form is more science-based. Luckily, we won't have to wait very long for that study because I'm helping run it now at Lehman College in New York. Now, of course, when you do any exercise, there are a few basic technique guidelines that you should follow so you can do the exercise safely and effectively. For example, on a squat, you don't want to fall backward or fall forward, so you should try to keep the bar in line with the middle of your foot. You should try to keep a relatively neutral spine, although a little butt wink at the bottom isn't worth freaking out about. And you should get as deep as you comfortably can, because squatting deep does seem to cause more quad growth and glute growth. But the exact angle you point your toes in, the specific stance width you take, and whether you put your thumb on top or bottom will, in all likelihood, have a very small impact on your gains.
Exactly.
These things can help you feel more comfortable.
Almost no impact, to be honest.
With the lift, but the reality is, if you're in the gym squatting with a high effort each week, your legs are going to grow. The same goes for the lat pull down. Many science-based lifters think that if they just take the perfect grip width and point their elbows in exactly the right direction, they're gonna unlock a whole new level of gains. Probably not. Grab the bar, lock yourself into the seat, hold the bar down to your chest, control the weight on the way up, and push the set hard. If you do that, your back is going to grow, and technique refinements beyond that are ultimately just guesses. I personally don't have a problem with people making those guesses, especially if they're educated guesses. There's nothing wrong with telling someone to take a closer grip to target their lats from a different angle, or to lean back a bit more to target the mid-back. But if we're being real, pretty much all of training technique is so much more of an art than it is a science. At least for now. But coaching should be a blend of science and experience, so that's okay. But there's an element of perfect technique that isn't okay, and it's this unrealistic expectation that there should never be any change in your technique from your first rep to your last rep. Let's say on rep 1, you get the bar.
Your last rep should be cheating, bad form, whatever, but if it's intense as fuck, dude, if it's a bad form, many guys see that when I say bad form, that's bullshit. Bad form is good. If you have bad form on your last rep, that means that you're doing cheating on curls or on lat pull downs. That helps you stimulate the muscle so much more. You feel it, the burn so much more, and that grows your muscle so much more. It's 10 times better. So keep that in mind.
All the way down to your chest. By the time you get to rep 10, you can't quite get the bar all the way down. It's about 1 inch away. That means rep 10 looks a little different from rep 1. So as a you end the set there. But if you do that, you're leaving quite a few reps in the tank. In my opinion, just because the range of motion was 1 inch less doesn't mean you need to terminate the set. That's why I love
or just swing the weight on the last few reps. That's nothing wrong with that.
Sam Solik's style of lat pull downs, where he keeps going even after he can't complete a full rep. When you're pushing really hard, some of your reps might look a little ugly. In my book, that's totally fine, but I do think you should still keep your form somewhat consistent from week to week for tracking progress. If your technique gets sloppier and sloppier over time, you'll still make gains, but you're probably not progressing the target muscle as much as you think. Now, out of everything,
someone in the chat, as Greg D says, cheat on curls, not on girls. Funny thing is, I do both. Holy. Did you see the 15-year-old on deadlift? That form is shit. Yeah, 15-year-old's form on deadlift. That was me 2 years ago, bro. You don't want to watch that. Holy shit, my form was dog shit, horse shit, bullshit. Fucking hell.
Science-based lifting is most famous for optimal exercises. Optimal exercises claim to be better for muscle growth based on scientific studies. But what are those studies exactly? Well, let's see by comparing two very different back exercises. The half-kneeling one-arm cable lat pull-down and the bent-over barbell row. Most people think of the one-arm cable lat pull-down as the more science-based exercise, and the barbell row as the more hardcore exercise.
But both will build lats.
Maybe that's understandable. After all, in my back tier list video, I put the one-arm half-kneeling lat pull-down in S tier and the barbell row in B tier, and that led to reactions like this one.
That's S tier. That's S tier. That is not S tier.
That reaction kind of makes sense, honestly, because
in my opinion, the pull down with one hand kneeled, I tried that a couple of times. I just don't like it, to be honest.
the way I ranked these exercises, many people understandably thought that I think you'd build a bigger back with the one-arm cable pull down than with the barbell row. But I don't think that, and I didn't think that when I made the tier list video. If you were forced to do just one of these exercises for the rest of your life, I would 100% pick the barbell row. That's because it's a compound movement that'll activate all the muscles in your back. By contrast, the one-arm lat pull-down will specifically isolate one muscle in your back, your lats. These are different tools for different jobs. I'd pick the barbell row if I was training someone limited on time and who needed to get the most bang for their buck. I'd especially pick it if they were trying to get stronger. But I'd pick the one-arm lat pull-down for someone who's already hit their basic compound lift and needed a little extra volume for their lagging lats. That one-arm lat pull will add more lat volume for basically no fatigue. It's perfect for that. The reason I put the barbell row in B tier is because
in my opinion, you should only do compounds. I disagree with that, man. I love myself some cable triceps push down, cable bicep curls. I know I do still do them with dumbbells and with barbells, but the bicep curls, and then the triceps, triceps you can hit like with real weights too. But it's honestly the best way, in my opinion, is still like, how should I say it? In my opinion, still the best way to hit triceps will always be a cable triceps push down. That will always be the best way. And I don't give a shit what you guys think. Okay? I love myself. Now, you can balance those. It's not good to just do cable exercises, because if you can do compounds, that will build your stability muscles and you have more muscle groups. It's good for you. But balance both of these, bro. Why do you have to choose one or another? Holy shit, I hate guys like these that only choose one.
I think there's a better tool for this.
And they say that the other thing is bullshit. I disagree.
Same job. The deficit pendlay row does the same job as the barbell row, plus a bigger stretch and a more standardized range of motion. And a chest supporting machine row does the same job as the barbell row, but with more stability and less fatigue. In retrospect, I just wasn't clear enough on what the tiers meant. So a lot of people thought that the S tier exercises were the most science-based exercises, A tier exercises were a little less science-based, and B tier and below were basically just bro science. That's not true though. There's honestly just not much science on exercise selection at all. It may shock you to learn that there's never been a single study that has measured back muscle hypertrophy directly. Not one. There's just biomechanics research and EMG studies. And we don't even know if EMG predicts hypertrophy. So my tier list rankings mainly came from indirect evidence and personal experience. And now, having done the series, I think it'd be more accurate to think of the tier list as going from slightly more effective to slightly less effective. But you need to realize that as long as you take any exercise to failure, or close to failure, that exercise will build muscle. From there...
And the thing is, it's everybody's like preference. Like, you can prefer an exercise over another, and that's absolutely fine. Let me open my door quickly. Okay, matter of fact, chat, I'm gonna go take a piss, so give me a second. Okay, let's keep watching this, man. But honestly, it's taking him so long. Come on, dude. I wasn't there for that long. I was like a minute or so. Come on, that's not too long.
And fine-tune things based on stretch, tension, overload, and what feels good. But I do think the exact exercises you pick are less important than simply training hard and doing enough volume. Training hard and doing enough volume is what hypertrophy science is really all about. I mean, just look at all the hypertrophy studies on training volume alone, and compare that to all the hypertrophy studies on the optimal bench angle for pec growth. So I'm gonna go a little deeper on these two topics, training hard and doing enough volume. When it comes to training hard, this is what the science shows. The latest meta-analysis took 15 studies, pulled them together, and compared the muscle growth from groups going to failure versus groups not going to failure. And this graph shows their overall findings. As you can see, versus groups that are closer to failure, you do get more muscle growth. But there's a point where too much failure training can cause recovery issues. I think as long as you're getting 1 to 3 reps shy of failure, you're good. But the problem is, if you always leave 3 reps in the tank, you might accidentally be leaving 5 or 6 reps in the tank.
Exactly, this is what I wanted to mention quickly, is you should be trying to get your 10 out of 10, because honestly, so many guys, and majority of people, including me, our minds are so damn weak. Like maybe David Goggins would be the only person that I would recommend to go an 8 or 9 out of 10 intensity, because he can actually push his mind. So many of our minds are so feeble that what we think is a 9 is really like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 intensity. Like realistic, like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 intensity. So you should really try for your 10 out of 10 intensity, because most likely you're going to be at an 8 or a 9. That's most probable.
Please leave 3 reps in the tank. You might accidentally be leaving 5 or 6 reps in the tank without realizing it. That underexertion will cost you gains. So I like to play it a little safe and get a little closer to failure than I probably need to. I usually leave 1 or 2 reps in the tank on most sets and then push my last set all the way to failure, assuming it's an exercise I can fail safely on. How hard you push is your training quality. How many sets you do is your training quantity. You need both quality and quantity for maximum gains. So for maximum gains, how many sets should you do? Well, in the research, this is called training volume, and it's the number of hard sets you do per muscle per week. For example, if you do 5 sets for your...
Now, this to some people it's too much science, to some people it's not. In my opinion, I don't count my sets. I don't count my reps. I just do like, bro, on bicep curls, sometimes I do 7 or 8 sets, and somebody might say that's too much. Bro, I just like to have a lot of volume and as much intensity as possible. So that's what I do. And bro, sometimes even just training triceps and shoulders, I might be in the gym for an hour to just do triceps and shoulders. You know, it's like, I like to do a lot of volume because I enjoy training and I like being there as long as possible. But honestly, some people just want to do as much intensity as possible. Now, I still like to push myself, to push the intensity, because I like feeling the pump and all of that. But I never count my sets, and my reps I do count, but I don't say, oh, I can't do more than 15 reps. I have a minimum of reps that I'm gonna hit, but not a maximum. Okay, and I like to do high rep, low weight, because I feel like you get a better pump, first of all, or hypertrophy. You do it with better technique, with better form, because the higher the weights, your form sometimes goes down. And I feel like you can just do a lot of reps with controlled form and prevent injury better this way. So this is just my opinion on it.
Chest per week, you do low volume training. If you do 10 sets for your chest per week, you do moderate volume training. And if you do 20 plus sets for your chest per week, you do high volume training. I'd call 30 plus sets per muscle per week ultra high volume training.
I think I do ultra high volume, chat. I think I do.
Luckily, we now understand the relationship between volume and muscle growth so much better than ever before. A brand new training volume meta-analysis was just published a few weeks ago with a ton of super impressive data analysis. Across 35 studies, they found that doing more volume did, in fact, cause more muscle growth. And that was true all the way up to 42 sets per muscle per week. That's an insanely high, borderline, and practically high level of volume, and the gains are diminishing. But it's nonetheless true that the more work you do, the better gains you get, at least in the short term. And that's the crucial caveat with this research. It's still unclear how these different volumes play out over the long term. That's because most of these studies only last 6 to 10 weeks. So for 6 to 10 weeks or so, yeah, doing high volume causes more gains. But we don't know for sure if that's true over time. For that reason, I think the volume sweet spot is still in this range for most people, 8 to 20 sets per muscle per week.
Maybe for beginners, etc. But I like to do a lot of sets, and it works for me. I have an amazing physique, so if for me it works. But do what works for you and what you like to do, right? And if you still see progress with it, then who else is to say that you're wrong for it?
If you really want to bring up a lagging body part, like your chest, for example, you could blast it with super high volume for a month or two, going as high as 30 sets per week. And as long as you reduce your volume for other body parts, you should recover fine and make some sweet pec gains. But remember, if you don't have all day to train, the research still shows that even just 4 sets per muscle per week can get the job done as long as you push those sets hard. And if you take one message away from this video, I hope it's that your training doesn't need to be perfect to be effective. I know
one thing I want to mention, guys, is, again, this is insufficient data, etc. Okay, if you don't have a study to prove it, do you just do what you know? Yeah, sure, you can do that if you're a pussy, but also be your own guinea pig. Try it on yourself. I tried so many experiments and did so many experiments on my own self. I was a guinea pig for training. Learn my lessons, bro. And honestly, I don't regret it, to be honest. So if it's not like something that might get you injured for the rest of your life, bro, you can experiment yourself. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that.
Per week can get the job done as long as you push those sets hard. And if you take one message away from this video, I hope it's that your training doesn't need to be perfect to be effective. I know some people in my audience get paralysis by analysis. They want to figure out every little thing about training before getting to work. I think it's cool to try to figure out every little thing. I do that myself. But the reality is, the best program isn't always the most optimal one. It's the one you'll actually stick to. So
exactly. The best program is the one that you stick to, not the one that's perfect.
It's totally fine if you drop your strict RPE adherence and do some feel-based sets every now and then. It's also totally fine if you do some workouts that are suboptimal on paper, but just more fun in the gym. It's cool if you do some cheat reps at the end of some sets because it helps you get in the zone.
Again,
none of these things are in conflict with smart training, because smart training is mostly about training hard and being consistent. I start my new book, The Muscle Ladder, with a chapter on sustainability, and then there's a big chapter on mindset. These two principles form the rails of the ladder, and then all the other variables like technique, exercise selection, effort, and volume make up.
This is a great book for beginners, to be honest.
10 rungs of the ladder. It's a huge hardcover book with super high quality print, full color images and diagrams, plus 20 training programs. So I'll link it in the description box down below. I also want to quickly mention that my nutrition app, Macro Factor, is doing amazing.
Yeah, okay, this is just like a VSL at the end of the video, which is good. I respect that. But yo, check out my pec gains, dude. Ooh, shit, boy. This guy is jacked. Holy shit. Yo, I really enjoy this. Holy shit. Dude, that looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, chat, this was a fun stream. I definitely agree with the most of the stuff that Jeff said in this video. I definitely recommend you guys to check out his content. He has really good content. I didn't really watch him in the past, which I now kind of regret, but yeah. By the way, there's one more video because it's 1 minute long, okay? It's like called Telling Sims the Brutal Truth. I'm really curious about that one. Let's watch it, guys.
When it comes to finding women, I'm just gonna tell you guys straight. Maybe spend less time on Twitch.
Bro, that's so true. Stop watching girls on Twitch, bro. Come on, dude. Whoever watches live streams, like a girl's live stream, is a fucking... Oh, shit.
On female streamer chat.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Oh, No, it's
She's so right for this, bro. I like the fact that she said this. Holy, tell me the Sims
Internet
did
thinks
this. That's absolutely correct. This one made me
What's up, Philic?
This honestly made me smile, dude. Oh shit. Yeah, dude. Holy shit. There are a lot of videos that I'm gonna watch in the next stream that I'll see, but there's this one
Me and my
another
bro.
1 minute video. OnlyFans girl breaks up with boyfriend after. Let's see.
me and my bro.
OnlyFans are girls are weird.
Me and my boyfriend broke up, which is okay. Like it's just like it's fine.
You see, guys, this is y'all. If you fucking simp over a girl and you give her too much attention, she's like, I broke up with my girlfriend, but it's okay, you know. She doesn't even bother by it. Holy shit.
Whatever. I'm totally fine.
Again, it's whatever. I'm totally fine. This is how a lot of girls are, by the way.
I'm completely fine. Honestly, it was a long time coming. I mean, I dated him for like over 3 years. I wouldn't say we're on good terms.
Dude, 3-year relationship means nothing to her. So guys, I just want you to know, if your girl is a streamer, content creator, or an OnlyFans chick, 3-year relationship is a nothing compared to money to her, okay? And clout, whatever. So I just want you guys to understand. Oh, I've been with my girl for 3 years. She loves me. No, she fucking doesn't. Dude, that does just the fact that you're with 3 years with her doesn't prove that fact alone that she's in love with you. This girl, bro. I broke up with my girlfriend, but that's okay. I'm unbothered by it. It was 3 years. I'm absolutely fine. Again, dude. You should do some vetting with girls. You can be with a girl for 2 months, break up with her, and her be heartbroken, and be with a girl like this for 3 years, and she was like, whatever. You know, like, dude.
I blocked him on everything.
Look, I don't know the whole backstory and the reason they broke up, but most of the people say they broke up after she started OnlyFans. And Tassie said they didn't broke up in good terms, so maybe this is the reason. Look, anyone can do whatever they want with their lives. If you want to do OnlyFans, do it. Personally, I don't give a f. But be ready to face the consequences. Before you make a decision like this, you have to accept that this content you make is going to be in the internet forever. Tell me your thoughts in the comments.
Dude, absolutely agree with this dude. So, oh hell no! I want to watch this one, guys. Holy! Let's see. OnlyFans chicks meets her top donator.
Introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Big Tony. I am your #1 OF subscriber.
And how much have you spent?
$35,000.
Well, it's nice to finally meet you.
Jesus.
Finally, I got to touch him.
What's your...
Bro, he's a creep, dude. She's like creeped out by him. Look at this shit.
I'm very sorry. I shook hands. Finally, I got to touch him.
What's your body count?
Very sorry. I can't say I'm there.
Come on, you came all this way. Just tell me.
Okay, fine. You can't make fun of me.
Okay, I won't. But why?
The girls never giving me a chance. That's why I spent so much on OF. I hope one day they'll let me hit it.
Okay, I don't know if this is real or they're just doing it to promote her OnlyFans. But bro, if this is fake, how much did you pay, bro, to say this shit? No hate to my guy, but bro, you need to do better. These OF models coming every week with new ideas to how to promote their OnlyFans. I mean, this is one of the craziest ones I've ever seen. Tell me your thoughts.
Like, dude, I'm not surprised whatsoever by this. This is the type of guy that's subscribed to OnlyFans. Guys, just because you make money doesn't mean that you're an alpha male now, okay? Because the thing is, this dude makes a lot of money, but he spent 35K on an OF girl that's creeped out by him and thinks he's disgusting, and he still will never let him hit, okay? And he's a virgin, bro. That old dude, that's fucking pathetic, dude. Yeah, guys, just making money is not enough. Work on everything. Dude, holy shit. Yeah, bro, this was just something to think about towards the end of this videos. Anyways, we have a lot more stuff for the next live stream. Now, we didn't read any Reddit stories today, but we will tomorrow, so tune in for that one. And yeah, guys, I already have some ideas in mind. So tomorrow morning, evening, whenever it will happen, it will happen. So I will be letting y'all know. This is mine. May God bless you. I'll see y'all on the next one.